Oh no. I can't with the coffee before teeth brushing. Hey everyone, I'm Abby Sharp. Welcome back to Abby's Kitchen. Today's video is sponsored by Ritual, and we are back with another celebrity Harper's Bazaar What I Eat in a Day review. And this time we're going to be looking at YouTube darling and fashionista Emma Chamberlain. Now I'll be honest, Emma really was not on my radar until you guys requested that I review this Food Diaries video specifically. So that to me is generally a good sign that she doesn't fall into the category of the more problematic wellness influencers that I typically review. I also started to watch a lot of her content for another fun video I'm working on about reviewing influencers' breakfast, so you'll definitely have to stay tuned for that. But I do think it's safe to say that, like the rest of her 10 million subscribers, I'm kind of obsessed. Now, before we get into today's video, I want to talk for a minute about my personal supplement routine because I do get asked a lot about this often in my DMs. So, as a lot of you know, I'm not pregnant anymore, but I am exclusively breastfeeding, and that takes a lot out of me, literally and figuratively. So I actually still take my daily prenatal vitamin from Ritual every night before bed as part of my overall bedtime routine. So generally my bedtime routine consists of bathing my kid in my bathroom these days. So while I'm like running the bath, I'll wash my face and then I'll get out all my supplements, and my prenatal is definitely one of my non-negotiable staples. I know the supplement world is really overwhelming, but I like Ritual's prenatal because it has 12 high quality nutrients to support the health of me and baby before and during pregnancy, including methylated 4th generation folate, vegan B12, D3, and omega-3, and they've got no colorants, additives, or unlisted ingredients. It's also vegan, sugar-free, gluten-free, and allergy-free, so if you have a hard time finding a vitamin that fits your unique dietary needs, this really does have it all. Also, if you find that taking a prenatal can make you feel a little bit nauseous, these ones have a no nausea capsule design. So you don't necessarily have to take them with food. So you can take it in the morning when you wake up or before bed like I do. Really, whenever you remember. But if you're wondering when to start taking a prenatal, I would say like always if there's a chance that you might get pregnant, but definitely 3 months before you want to start trying. And if you're nursing like I am, you can continue to take it postnatally as well, just to replenish all of those nutrient stores. They also have a regular multivitamin for men and women, as well as a 50+ option. But it's super convenient because they just deliver it to your door as part of the subscription. So even when I'm having super mom brain, I won't run out. So if you want to try it out, you can use my promo code and check out the link in the description to get 10% off of your first 3 months of Ritual. Also, very quickly, you can check out my disclaimer here on screen, so feel free to pause the video if you want to read it, or you can check it out in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that little bell so that you never miss out on a video. All right, folks, let's take a look.
I get right out of bed, don't brush my teeth, don't wash my face. I go straight downstairs to either make my first coffee or go get coffee with someone.
I mean, to each their own, but this kind of offends me on a personal level because this is what my husband does too, and I do not understand it. How can you enjoy any part of your life before you wash your face and brush your teeth? Ugh. I don't know. I just can't relate to that one. But do tell me below if you brush your teeth before you drink coffee or after. I need to know. I need to know where I stand in this very heated, hot topic. But anyways, I would hope that she would at least brush her teeth before having coffee with friends. Otherwise, Emma's friends be watching this right now being like, Siri, note to self, decline early morning coffee with Emma.
Currently declining early morning coffee with Emma.
Just kidding, girl. I would probably look past it too for a coffee date with the coffee queen. But anyways, let's see what she has to eat.
So I'll usually make a latte, and I take 2 shots of espresso, put some vanilla almond milk in it, unsweetened, and then I put vanilla nut pod creamer in it, and that's my home recipe.
Interesting. Normally I don't have much to say about someone's coffee of choice because I feel like coffee is such a sacred part of our day that it has critique immunity, like even from me. But because Emma is known for her coffee, I just kind of want to dissect this just a bit for funsies. Now, even though Emma is a coffee connoisseur of sorts, I love that her coffee order is something that I legit easily could make at home if I wanted to. And I guess I was just expecting more of like a bougie almond milk than the Cauliflower brand, because I have personally used that stuff to try to make a latte before, and it does not foam, which sucks because, I don't know, a latte has gotta have a nice solid foam. I don't know. I've experimented with a lot of non-dairy milks in my frother, and I personally have had more success with the barista blends, which are specifically designed for getting that nice aerated layer on top. But typically speaking, milks with higher amounts of protein content are better for foaming because the protein molecules essentially help to maintain air bubbles that are created during the frothing process. And since a lot of non-dairy milks are so low in protein, they just kind of sit flat. So if you are pining for a coffee house latte at home, look for one of the non-dairy barista blend milks at specialty stores. They do tend to be a little more expensive, but still way cheaper than buying Starbucks every single day. Also, that was a really interesting addition with the creamer. That was a curveball I did not anticipate, but now clearly, I feel like I need to try this. All right, let's take a look at her breakfast.
2 over-hard eggs, salt on it, pepper on it, everything but the bagel seasoning on it, and then I put some Cholula on that, and then I cut up a whole avocado, put that on top, and then I eat it, and that's my breakfast every day.
So, like I alluded to earlier, I've actually been researching Emma's avocado toast recently for another video that I'm working on, and I love everything about this meal right here, minus the fact that she likes her yolks hard, because in my personal opinion, egg yolks have no business being cooked through. Like, it is runny or bust to me. So I basically did not eat eggs at all my whole pregnancy because just why? But anyways, Emma, girl, I respect your choice, so I'll try not to yuck your yum. You do you. But I do love that we have some quality protein to pair with the healthy fats and the fiber, rich carbs and the avocado toast. And the everything bagel seasoning? Come on. Any Abbey's Kitchen blog fan will know that I am totally on board with that. Let's see what else she has to say.
Sometimes I'll work out, but sometimes I like working out more at night. I really just shove in a workout wherever I can fit it. I try to work out 4 to 5 times a week.
I love how relaxed this girl is about her food and fitness regime. You know, she's like, yeah, I know exercise is good for me. I try to fit it in when I can. But hey, if it doesn't work out one day, I don't punish myself and I move on. Yes, that is how we build a healthy relationship with our body. Let's take a look at lunch.
Lunch for me is the neglected meal, okay? I don't think about it much and it's always Postmated. I never cook lunch.
I hear you on lunch being like the neglected meal. I also don't have time to cook lunch usually either. It's usually just like a compilation of leftovers or something store-bought or pre-prepared or literally random bites off of my kid's plate. So yeah, I get that it's pretty hard to find time in the middle of the day to prepare something from scratch.
Recently, I've been ordering this salad from this restaurant called Zinc, and it's kale, lentils, carrots, hard-boiled egg. Sometimes I'll get like a burrito or a burrito bowl from a place called Chickpea in LA or Erewhon. Honestly, I could go to Erewhon for every single meal. Sometimes I'll just get a crazy like vegetable plate thing from there.
Okay, all of these lunch options sound legitimately delicious. That kale salad has a really nice balance of fiber and protein and healthy fats. And I also really like her hack on the burrito where she added cauliflower rice to boost up the veg. I actually think that this is a really balanced, not restrictive option since you're still gonna get a good amount of carbs in the wrap itself and the beans. And this way you can sneak in some produce into a typically low veg restaurant kind of meal. Also, buffalo cauliflower, always a good idea in my books. I actually have a few great recipes on my blog, so I'm gonna link those below for you to check out. All right, let's see what else she has to say.
I grew up vegetarian, so I've never had meat in my diet. I continue to be vegetarian mainly because I'm a picky eater.
So picky eating in adults is actually more common than people think. And I know a lot of you have messaged me about this, especially after the video that I did on dealing with picky eating in kids and what you can do to avoid it. In fact, a lot of the same techniques that I mentioned for kids can be used for adults struggling with this as well. So one technique that we often use is called food chaining. This would basically mean making very small changes to preferred safe foods and gradually building on them to eventually land at another less liked food item. So for example, Emma mentions that she doesn't like cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. But let's say that she does like Greek yogurt. She could start with Greek yogurt and a tiny spoonful of pureed cottage cheese mixed in, and then slowly shift the ratio until it was all pureed cottage cheese. Then she could puree most of the cottage cheese and leave a few of those lumps left in, and then slowly shift that ratio until it was all just like the lumpy cottage cheese. Another example was that she doesn't like mushrooms. So she could start with ground beef with a tiny bit of minced up mushrooms, again shifting the ratio until it was all cooked ground mushrooms. And then she could slowly start to increase the size of the mushroom pieces over time. But I will say that the list of foods that she mentioned are commonly disliked foods anyway. I myself also have a thing with mayo. I don't know, it's just gloopy. I don't know what it is. Tell me below if you also think it's weird and kind of gloopy. So if at the end of the day you really are trying to like something and you just don't, then that's totally normal and it's totally fine. You don't need to force yourself to like something if it just is not gonna happen for you. But of course, in extreme cases of picky eating, this may be diagnosed as something called avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, or ARFID, in which case you would definitely want to work with a dietitian who specializes in this field. Let's take a look at snacks.
I'm a big snacker. My favorite snack for the past year has been these flax crackers. They're called Mary's Gone crackers. Another snack is I make little mini cauliflower pizzas because I found these little cauliflower thins and I just put a little bit of marinara sauce on it, a little bit of pesto, a little bit of vegan mozzarella, bake that for a little bit.
Okay, so all of these snacks sound like really nutritious choices, and I love that she doesn't describe them as foods that she eats because they're, super clean or low in calories or detoxing, whatever. I mean, even the cauliflower crust pizza she eats, it's like she eats them just because they're easy and they taste pretty good to her. But also, I'm totally stealing that idea. I actually think that a brand sent me these same little cauliflower bread things, and I loved that they had some protein and fiber in them, and also they actually had more flavor than just like a regular piece of pita, which I use all the time to make little pita pizzas. Anyone else like pita pizzas? So great. Such an easy lunch or dinner option to use up little pieces of veg that you have left over in the fridge. And her version is so much more fancy with like the pesto and the sausage and the nooch, but I also bet that they're really satisfying and pretty delicious too. I also love those Mary's Gone crackers. They've got some fiber and protein and healthy fats in there, and paired with the hummus, that would be a super satisfying and tasty snack. And the peanut butter and plums, can't go wrong with either of those all on their lonesome, but of course you could pair them together for an even more balanced and satiating snack. Ooh, a little toast with peanut butter and sliced plum on top, that would be really good. Let's see what else she has to say.
So recently I've been drinking iced herbal tea. Another weird drink though that I have is sparkling water with apple cider vinegar in it. It helps with my digestion. And I have really shitty digestion. But I hate soda. I don't like sweet drinks.
Okay, so I also have been into making iced herbal tea, as I also try not to have caffeine after like 10 a.m., #insomniac. My cutoff is probably a lot more conservative than Emma's. But anyways, as for the apple cider vinegar, this is actually the first kind of like wellnessy ritual that Emma seems to have in her day. even though she admittedly thinks it's a bit weird. So that just says a lot right there. But interestingly, like when Emma says that she takes it to help with her digestion, I just feel like that is an honest observation on her part. As for the claim itself, it's most likely that the increase in water intake from this drink is what helps improve her digestion and move things along, more so than the apple cider vinegar specifically, as there is no strong research to show that apple cider vinegar can help with bloating and digestion. In fact, one small study looked at the effect of apple cider vinegar in people with gastroparesis, which is a condition that impairs the movement of food from the stomach into the intestines. And the study found that apple cider vinegar could actually slow down digestion rather than speeding it up, which can actually lead to increased bloating and gas, particularly in individuals with these types of GI disorders. However, people who don't have GI dysfunction may find that apple cider vinegar can help their digestion, but these claims are largely anecdotal. So if you like the flavor like Emma does, then I think it's a great way to help you up your water intake in the day. Much better than taking like a shot of the stuff, which can be a lot more aggressive on your stomach and your teeth. Let's talk dinner.
Dinner time. If I'm cooking for myself, it's usually something pretty low maintenance. I'll take like some frozen vegetables of some sort, heat those up, cut up some tofu, fry that. I will also make pasta. I love garbanzo bean pasta, and I put pesto on it in nutritional yeast, and I'll eat a whole bowl of that and then call it a night.
I love how easy and simple she makes meal prep. This totally sounds like something that most people could easily put together pretty inexpensively and really quickly. So we've got some protein in the tofu, carbs in the brown rice, fats in the curry sauce and sesame oil, and lots of veg. And there's basically no prep work involved. I also love that she's a fan of frozen veg, because frozen vegetables and produce is not only really affordable, convenient, and has a longer shelf life than fresh vegetables, but it's a great way to enjoy your favorite veggies year-round, regardless of whether or not they're in season. And you don't have to worry about them being significantly less healthy. There's also some research to show that some frozen veggies like broccoli and kale may actually be more nutrient dense than fresh veggies because they're flash frozen right after they're harvested to lock in some of that nutrition. Now, if they're blanched before freezing, then yes, that can reduce some of the nutrients in some veggies. But in general, I think whatever little time and money saving hacks help you get in more vegetables, that is a more important consideration than the fresh versus frozen debate. Speaking of frozen veggies though, if she did want to boost up the veg in her pesto pasta, she could definitely throw in some frozen peas or kale. Or if the pesto is made from scratch, she could add some spinach or kale to that as well. Either way, I love that she's using Banza pasta and nutritional yeast for some added protein. These are actually two of my personal favorite protein hacks and pasta dishes as well, especially when I'm in a rush and I don't have time to cook a whole other protein. Let's see what else she has to say.
Quite a few different kind of comfort meals. Number one would have to be Monty's burgers. I also love falafel wrap with hummus and tahini on it, and like pita bread with the hummus. Also burritos, like from a really good place. Also, I love breakfast potatoes. So like sometimes I just want to order just that.
Okay, kudos to Harper's Bazaar for replacing the verbiage about cheat meals with comfort foods instead. You probably know I'm not a fan of the word cheat meals. And while even comfort food has been often hijacked by diet culture to be synonymous with bad foods or junk foods, it is worth noting that the term can also just be foods that bring you joy. No moral slant needed. As for Emma's comfort meals, I love seeing her excitement about food. I mean, as a self-professed picky eater, I do think that her comfort meals actually offer some really good variety from different cuisines and are also all great, well-rounded vegetarian options as well. So, of course, we've got the standard veggie burger, which, in my opinion, A good burger comforts any and every soul on the planet, so I think we can all relate right there. The falafel wrap is also an amazing option and offers some really good plant-based protein and healthy fats from the hummus and tahini. And then of course, a good burrito always hits the spot. I think burritos are also pretty inherently well balanced and definitely super satiating. And if she or you want to make these comfort foods everyday foods, all I would suggest is adding in more veg. I mean, I am all about small little tweaks and additions rather than omissions to make cheat meals into everyday balanced meals that are just equally as comforting. Now, overall, Emma Chamberlain not only seems super down to earth and refreshing, but her approach to food and eating is totally something I can get on board with. Unlike a lot of these celebrity food diaries we've seen so far, which tend to be rife with misinformation around food and wellness culture. But I love that Emma totally marches to the beat of her own drum. And despite her growing popularity in the YouTube space, she keeps it real and really relatable. I am officially a fan. And on that note, thank you again to Ritual for sponsoring this video. If you liked it and want to see me review more of these Harper's Bazaar clips, please like this video and leave me a comment below on who to check out next. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that little bell so that you never miss out on a video. And I will see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!